Okay, welcome very much, Wahida. It's really good to see you. I'm looking forward to talking and so forth. And in the audience, welcome very, very much to Conversations for this program. It's Wahida Clark, and she's billed, as you can see, as a writer, and also she's had a very interesting life story that we're going to be dealing with. And Wahida, welcome very, very much.
Thank
Glad you could
you.
get in
Thank
from, I guess,
you.
Jersey, right?
New Jersey.
Okay, now talk to us a little bit. Share with us, if you would, your background, born and raised, that sort of thing, education.
Okay.
And then we'll talk. This is going to be the Wahida Clark Hour. So
all right.
Fill us in. And I see you got a couple of books demonstrated, but I'll stop talking. Tell us about yourself.
Fantastic. I am Wahida Clark, author and publisher, born in Trenton, New Jersey, raised in Trenton, went to Mercer County Community College, moved to Georgia, went to federal prison.
Yeah, we want to talk
back
about
in
that.
Jersey.
Yeah, okay, we'll talk about that.
So
but you
that's
were
me.
raised in there in Trenton. You went to school there.
Yes.
And you went to the community college there.
Mercer
Did you
County
study
Community
writing
College.
or something there? Or
Not at all.
Not at all.
During
What
that
were you up
time,
to?
my major was computer operations, and that's when I graduated with associates in computer operations.
And you understand computers pretty well?
Basically,
Yeah.
good enough, but I don't think people even, I don't even think that's a major anymore.
Well,
Technology
it's
has
just
evolved
becoming
so
so
much.
ubiquitous, and also every time you just learn something, they got a whole new layer of
Absolutely.
stuff that is so
Absolutely.
spontaneous, is so incredible. It's
I love
amazing.
it.
Yeah.
I love it.
That was foresightful on your
I
part
love
to
it.
get interested in that, and you became computer literate at a level that could serve your
Absolutely.
life's purposes.
It helped me with publishing, even though when I picked that major, I wasn't anticipating becoming a publisher and having a printing company.
I understand.
It was
I
crazy.
understand. It's amazing what you can do entrepreneurially now. But how did you happen to pick it? Do you remember? I don't mean to pry or.
I think it actually was my husband. He was like, I said, okay, I'm going to go to Mercer County Community College. When am I going to major in? At that time, computer operations was brand new.
Yeah.
It was a brand new
What
major.
year are you talking about, roughly?
Maybe 80 something.
80?
I don't even remember.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm here to tell you, it only gets worse, darling. With each advancing years, it's all
It was in the
downhill.
80s.
But anyway, I remember, yeah, short-term memory seems to have a way of
Yes.
eluding, yeah.
Absolutely.
But anyway, you were there.
It was a brand new major, and I took it.
And you were married, then you said, I heard you say your husband, and you have
yes.
children? Or?
I have two daughters.
Oh, do you? How
I
they
have two
doing?
daughters.
Okay?
Excellent. They're
Oh, I'm
both
glad to
college
hear.
students now as
They're
well.
in college now, yeah. I know that. I had a boy and a girl, and they're both doing really well and everything like that. I heard you say something that went by kind of quick about how you did time in federal prison. How did that come? And I think, if I'm not mistaken, from the bio, it was like something like 10 years.
Right.
It wasn't just a overnight
A slap
stay.
on the wrist, right?
Yeah. Can you share with it, or do you?
Sure.
Yeah, it's part of the record.
Sure.
Yeah.
My sentence was 10 and a half years, but I served 8 and a half of that 10 and a half. I was, like I said, I was living in Trenton, but then I relocated to Georgia. And
Yeah, I heard that.
I was working for a company, ended up being a bad corporation, and when they came and took the company down, I was one of the top salespeople. I went down with it. I took my case to trial in Arizona, because that's where the corporation, the major corporation was, the parent corporation. So I took it to trial, and I was sentenced to 125 months in federal custody.
What was the company's business? I mean, what kind of company?
Advertising, selling advertising products to businesses.
And what was
a
the
marketing
charge?
advertising firm. My charges were, and everybody else's was, money laundering, mail and wire fraud.
Had there been some money laundering or something?
Well, according to the government, it was. And
But you
lost
think
it.
that was a bad rap?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it
Because
was.
I was just an employee. My husband's like, oh, nothing's going to happen. You're an
Yeah.
employee. Nothing's going to happen. You go to work every day. You punch your time card. You get paid at the end of the week. Nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
But when
For
they
what
came
they might
in,
be doing. Yeah.
when they came in,
Did they get, how
took
many were involved?
everybody.
I don't mean, it sounds like it could be a very miscarriage of justice, for instance. And how many people were involved in the company? What was the size? Was it small? And what was it doing?
It was a small company. Altogether, it was about 12 of us who took it to trial, if my memory serves me correctly. 12 of us took it to trial, and we were they called the major players. A lot of the individuals didn't get arrested or anything, but the major players.
They
it was about 12 of us, right? Because I was one of the top. I was the top salesperson.
You were the top salesman because you're a go-getter, I take it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right. Okay, I see that. And sometimes people take exception to. First of all, you're a lady for crying out loud, and secondly, you're of another race that some people think is all of that kind of prejudice that permeates the society. Well, I'm sorry. That is really quite an experience. Nearly 10 years.
Yes, when the judge said 125 months, said to my lawyer, "What does that mean? 125 months? I never heard of a thing."
You just did a quick calculation, and they held. They did. And so you went to prison where? Did you serve time in
I started off in Arizona. From Arizona, I went to Lexington, Kentucky, and then finished my time out in Alderson, West Virginia, where Martha Stewart came through.
Oh, she came through. Prisons vary. You would have gleaned a lot of experience, I suppose, from that, even though that's an awful trial.
Actually, you know what? I wouldn't change a day.
Really? Okay, that's very interesting. That's very, very
I wouldn't
interesting.
change a day.
You're still contending it was a bad rap, right? You haven't said, no, I was involved with like Madoff or something,
No. I was even though I was the top salesperson. I did my job. That's how I am. When I latch on to something, I try to do it and do it well. And I ended up being a good salesperson.
Do you think this is a country that is prejudiced against people who do their job well?
To a certain extent. It's like a double standard.
Yeah,
it's like a double standard.
Well, there is racism, isn't there? It's still with us. It's still there in the world and everything. And there's still misogyny all over the place. Yeah?
Absolutely.
So you had a double whammy there, as they used to say in Little Abner. Remember Little Abner?
Yes, I do. I remember the cartoon.
Okay,
yeah. On Saturday morning in the newspaper.
And Little Abner and Daisy May and Happy Yoakum.
I remember that.
Mammy Yoakum used to iron his Levi's while he was still in them. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm just saying. The prejudice of the movie, I just saw Blazing Saddles again the other day.
Oh gosh, that's my husband's favorite.
That's so
a
funny.
classic.
That's so great.
That is a classic.
He said
Mel Brooks. That is a classic. And Richard Pryor. Actually, Richard Pryor wrote it.
He did. I didn't know Pryor wrote that. Did he?
How I found out while in prison. I worked in a law library, and I love reading autobiographies.
Right.
And Richard Pryor had one on the bookshelf, and it was tattered and wore out. And one day I looked at it, I said, let me pick this one up. Once I picked it up, I couldn't put it down. And in it, he was saying how he wrote that for Mel Brooks.
I'll be darned. That's really interesting.
And I knew it was my husband's favorite movie, so as soon as I read that, I couldn't wait to call home and say, guess
funny.
What?
Yeah, right.
Guess
it was Pryor did
what?
It. He wrote.
Absolutely.
And Wilder was great. And what's the name of the guy that played the Negro sheriff?
Cleavon Little.
Great. And Mel Brooks. And it was really good. 74. It was coming out. It was a creative time. There was a lot coming on.
That's a classic.
These are the people of Rock Ridge and everything. It was really funny. Yeah, it's recommended by one and all. It's right up there as one of the best.
How did we get on that subject?
I think it had to do with prejudice.
Okay.
Yeah, we're talking about prejudice, which is still with us in the thing, that kind of stuff and everything. But you learned a lot in prison,
absolutely.
Right? You did. One thing gave you a lot of time to read. But what was the experience
I took a medical billing course, computer courses, and more reading and more writing.
Okay, tell me, is the prison system, I did a thing with Mr. Kuby that I've just put up on YouTube from some time ago, and he said the prison system has practically lost any thought about redemption. It's all just about punishment, and that they're not giving real attention to education or anything by which somebody could improve themselves and get ready. It's just a thing to punish. That was his take on the prison system, and it's also racist to the max.
More like.
And what is your? We have over 2 million people in prison. The growth of the prison it's a growth industry.
Absolutely.
Private prisons and everything like that.
Absolutely. So and when I was in Arizona, that was a private facility owned by
So tell me, from your
corporations.
experience of being inside, what do you think of the prison system and so forth?
It is just human warehousing. No such thing as redemption. If the person doesn't have the discipline and the willpower to get in there and do the time, and not let the time do them, then that's just time wasted.
Okay,
It's time wasted. Like you said, the education. I took a computer class. All the computers were very old, outdated, software outdated. The classes I took, they don't even use that word perfect. They don't even have that anymore. What they do is 10 years. We had the 10-year-old version.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and very little.
I paid for my medical billing course myself. Everything's just outdated.
Yeah,
They're
it
just
is.
there, just housing the humans.
You know, you said something you said if you're in prison, you do your time, or the time do you, or something like that. Is that a common expression that you hear?
We say it all the time.
It could be. Could it be
all the time?
Could that idea be applied to the human condition? You know,
well,
it's more moderate, but you know what I'm saying?
Definitely in
what
prison.
Do you think?
Definitely in prison. You either do your time. If the time does you, it's time wasted. You can't get it back.
But you know what? I'm trying to make a metaphor.
For out here, the people, the human,
Because even out in the society, a lot of people, I say, it's like a feudal estate for crying out loud.
Go home like we're zombies. Get up, go to work, come home, fix dinner, watch TV, go to sleep. Same thing day in, day out. Very monotonous, just like prison. Right. But it just seemed like in prison it's just magnified. Times 20.
Yeah, and they take away what other chances you might have had, a little chance you get glean out of the unjust situation. Some people are prepared to, like we just did a program, you were here, the fellow from Libya, Muammar Gaddafi, I like a lot, and he said it's like the world is set up like a feudal estate. You have a few people own all the assets, and then everybody else are like serfs on a feudal estate.
Absolutely.
Dependent upon, if they pick up the leaves right, the man might not put him in some sort of a dungeon or something. That is not just.
It's that
elementally just.
This morning I was listening to CNN. It was talking about when they was talking about the health care, the top 1%. Oh, he was interviewing on Larry King. He was interviewing Michael Moore.
Oh yeah.
He was saying the top 1%. They just run everything.
Well, they own more than the bottom 95%.
Right. Just run everything. The top 1%.
It's a plutocracy, and always has been. I mean, in Pharaoh they had a plutocracy, didn't they? Pharaoh was a pretty powerful dude over everybody. Mesopotamia, the feudal states of Europe under kings. Rome and the empire.
History repeats itself.
And now
it's modern, right?
It's still like that. We still have.
Modern.
We should not say. My suggestion: we should not ever say that we have a democracy. We have a truncated thing in terms of where you get to vote for some special interest representation in a thing like that. We don't have anything like democracy, and we certainly have nothing that even approaches economic democracy in anywhere in the world now, or such.
You say, vote for me and I'll set you free. Sure.
Yeah. Big changes are required, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Good. That's a thing to be made. That's a point to be made. And is still there and everything, but that's an interesting term. Could you tell me one more time? Because I want to put it on my quote page.
Which one? Vote for
me?
The
thing about in prison. You do your time, or the time does you, or something.
Right. Do your time. Do your time, or let the time do you. Choose to do the time.
Choose to do the time rather than let the time do you?
There you go.
Is there a person that's ascribed to, like Gandhi or something? Or
I don't know where it came from.
Or some choice prisoner of well-known?
That's been a prison saying for years and years.
That's
years.
Commonality.
Yes.
That's common in the prison system. So you were there and you were able to focus a lot of attention in that? I don't mean to pry into your personal life. It's inherent. We're talking about you. Your husband and you. He stuck with you in that? Or
absolutely. Because my husband, as I was coming
Family's important,
my husband was coming home. He had been in prison. He wrote a book, too. I gave it to the ambassador, Uncle Yahya, by Al Dickens. I gave it to the ambassador.
Good for you.
And he wrote that book while he was incarcerated. But as I was coming into the system, he was coming home. So he had already done 20-something years. So he was an expert at doing time and not allowing the time to
Did you say 20 years?
Over.
He had done 20 years?
Yes.
Wow, you got a lot of experience. You should write a book.
So
I think you have.
Yes, I have. So he told me, he said, Wahida, you have to stay busy. You have to stay busy.
Inside.
Don't let the time do you. You have to do the time. Do it productively. You can't waste time.
Yeah.
And so he always kept reminding me of that. And that's what got me through.
And you were a self-starter for large. You were a self-starter because you had become top of the class in terms of making sales of that company. So you're a go-getter.
Absolutely.
Okay, so if you are of that stamp, then you can make some good use of the time rather than letting it make use of you. And you did.
That was a blessing.
So you learned a lot while you were in prison.
I did.
Well, overall, was it Were differences between them? Excuse me, I've never had to do prison, you know.
Okay. You mean
a difference between prison A, prison B, and is there some way of rating them, like they rate 5-star hotels?
Okay. When you first get in the system, you go to the county jail, because that's like a holding facility until you wait there. The feds, the federal government contracts with the local county facilities to house the federal inmates until they go to court and get sentenced. Then after you get your sentence, then they come pick you up and take you to, put you in federal custody. So in the county jail, oh my gosh, the county jails are horrible.
Really?
Because you have everybody coming from the weekend, they lock up all
drunk tanks and
oh
things.
My gosh. And
bullpens.
Then the county is horrible.
Really?
The food is horrible. It's freezing cold. If it's 100 degrees outside, it's 0 below inside. And,
I hear you.
You just lock down the majority of the day. And the county jails,
that's a holding thing. That's temporary.
And I sat in county.
Is that temporary?
I sat in county custody for a year.
For a year?
Yes.
Under that? Well,
yes.
How does that determine? How is that determined?
Because I had to sit there and wait until they sentenced me. And before you get sentenced, you have to go to court, stuff gets postponed, they're just going back and forth with this, back and forth with that. Then after you get sentenced, then you have to sit and wait for the bus to come, the federal government, the United States, they hire the marshals to come pick you up to take you to federal custody.
Why does it take so long? Why does it take so long?
That's just the process.
It can be deadly slow, can't it? Yeah, the process, the legal.
Some people sit there longer than a year.
And you did yourself nearly a year, and then it was terrible. That was the worst.
In Arizona, that was the worst.
That was
the worst of my time in Arizona. Then then it's limited. There's no schooling, no nothing there. You just sit there, watch TV, and wait for them to let you outside.
They don't have any books or magazines or anything.
They have a cart that comes by.
Yeah, like
out some county.
The Green Mile. Did you ever see the Green Mile?
I did.
Yeah, the guy what was it?
Right,
who was the name of that guy who played? The old guy that hung himself in the movie who had played. I can't remember the name of the star.
I forgot.
He was great. Yeah.
I forgot.
And
they have the carts come by just like you see in the movies. Get some books and magazines and. I mean, there's play cards. There's really nothing to do in the county jail. But at least when they came and picked me up and I went to federal custody, you get to move around. I got a chance to, you get to run outside, exercise, and you can get in your own groove, your own routine. That's when I was able to, I'm not going anywhere. This is real. I got to get focused.
And you had a chance to get some reading material and stuff? Was there a library? Could you go?
Yeah, they had a library.
Did you have internet? Do you have connection to the internet in prison?
That's not allowed.
Is that not allowed to any prison?
Allowed.
You can't have.
Now they just signed up for email. You can email your close friends and family. It's monitored, but internet, no. Internet is out of the question.
Why?
Because they
feel... why? Let me just think of that. Why? Why is there not access to the internet in every cell where somebody's incarcerated? It doesn't cost hardly anything.
Well, they feel that the inmates could do lots of things.
Like what?
With the internet. Commit more crimes.
Oh, I see. They think they would use it.
Imagine access to the internet.
Well, see,
I got in trouble for writing a book and getting published. They said
I know.
I was writing a business.
We're going to talk about it.
Imagine if I had the internet.
Yeah, but
I could really
to me.
market and
but
and
listen
promote.
to me. Like I did that thing. You said do your time or don't let the time
you
do
like
you.
that, don't you?
Well, I liked it because I apply it to the whole human condition.
Okay.
I don't apply it just to. I mean, I understand there's a special circumstance or some group that's being persecuted, like Dachau or something like that. That's a different kind of context. But to the whole human condition. And why don't they just deny the internet to all the population? Because they might do something bad. Why do they allow the internet or any educational systems exist? Because they might possibly do bad or something. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Why wouldn't it be an advantage of the society to let the people improve themselves or educate themselves?
We felt it would be an advantage, but the system thinks, no, you're there for punishment. You're not there to sit there and be able to surf the internet and enjoy cable TV and just kick back.
Okay, yeah, cable TV would be another thing. They can watch this program for good elucidation of how to be and everything like that. But I'm just trying to understand the mentality of the idea. I guess the law is a funny thing. Winston Churchill once said the law can be an ass, and it really can.
Absolutely.
To protect interests and so forth. But why did it lose the part of the law or the view of the human condition and so forth where people can improve themselves through education and through activity and so forth? Why is that somehow? You got 2.5 million people in the United States?
Is.
What is it that that I'm trying to think. Penology, is that people who run the prisons and do that? Why did it go to where they only wanted, it's like Dickensian or something. Why did they only want to punish? And why not have a system built in? I mean, Absolutely. It costs a lot of money to put. You could send somebody to a prison for the price that you could go to Harvard.
There you go.
Well, now why do the society set it up with draconian measures where you make it difficult for them to improve themselves or anything? I'm just trying to understand the psychology. Is it sadism? Or what is it that makes it that way?
We sit around in prisons throughout the country, sit around and have these same conversations.
I suppose you do get a lot of time on your hands.
Same conversations.
Yeah. Well, what do you come up with? Why is it? How can you share it with? What do you share with all your experience and your husband's experience with the viewing audience?
What we come up with as we're sitting behind the prison walls, having this exact same conversation, is all about the money.
It's all about economics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Prison systems is just human warehousing and just all about the money.
And that applies to...
Everything is less as possible.
That applies to society.
Less as possible.
At large.
Yes.
It applies. Everything is economic, really.
Less as possible.
And the mighty dollar is the only thing that has any way of, the way that's going to be manipulated and so forth. And it's all about the money,
Yes.
That's a pretty sad commentary. But
less is the key in the prison system, as less as possible.
And the problem is what you're doing is you're punishing people for being poor.
There you go.
By and large, do you have many people there that are not poor? Within the prison experience.
Few people come through. Martha
Stewart
came by. Martha Stewart came through.
Martha Stewart came through.
Not poor.
And we got Madoff there now. They got him. But it's unusual. It's mostly people who are the most challenged in the society that they do. So there's a thing. Aesop, I think he said, what is it? We said, we jail the petty thieves and elect the real tyrants to political power.
Wow.
Or that we elevate the real tyrants,
that is the
and
truth.
we punish the poor, essentially the poor,
exactly,
right?
Because the poor doesn't have the money to fight the justice system.
They don't have the money. What little system there is of since Magna Carta and whatnot to fight the system or something is all there.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, I've been going on. I didn't know anybody has had that much experience. I appreciate you trying to answer some of my foolish questions. I'm trying to relate it to the human condition because I see the connection. But enough of all this, because congratulations, your husband's still hanging out and everything?
He's home.
Wonderful. Okay, that's wonderful. And the girls are doing well?
Girls are doing excellent.
What are they studying?
One is a communications major, and Hassana, what is her major? Fashion design.
Okay, well, that's good. I know.
Communications and fashion design.
Don't send her for me for advice. I have no sense of fashion whatsoever.
Well, she does.
Okay, good. I'm glad somebody does. Now, let's talk, because you're doing also, you're out and everything, right? You've learned.
Yes.
You've done it, not let it do you and so forth. And you become a publisher.
Yes.
And you're publishing books.
Yes.
And you're writing books. And let's talk some about that. When did you get out? How long ago did you get out? How long ago was it?
December of '07. I was free. I was released from the halfway house.
Happy from where?
The halfway house in Newark.
That's when you walked out. Did they have big doors that opened or something and slammed shut or something out of the movie?
Well, no, because I was in a federal camp. So camp, we don't have the big doors like that.
Yeah, why don't they have things like camps that they can go to?
We do have. I was in the federal prison camp. They have low security, minimum security, maximum security, and supermax in the federal system. The supermax system is prison. They say it's under the ground, and those people are just locked down 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Horrible.
They don't go to the outside world at all. But I was in a federal prison camp.
That's minimum security.
Yeah, very low security. The bell would open. The doors were open in the morning. I can just go outside, run around the track, walk down the hill to breakfast. Because in Alderson, it was just hills and lots of space.
And that was toward the end, then.
Yeah, that
You'd
was
been a model
towards the end.
prisoner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that happened. Yeah.
Only trouble I got was for writing my books. They said I was running a business. Twice I got in trouble for that. And one time, they caught me changing the channel to the TV, so I got a report.
What do you mean change? You mean in the day room or something?
You wasn't supposed to touch the TV in the day room, exactly.
Yeah, they call it a day room? That's
they call it a day room. You hit it right on the nose.
Yeah,
it's a day room.
I hated the military.
Yep.
I didn't like it. It's authoritarian. I don't like authoritarian.
We was in there. I wanted to watch something. I don't know what I was trying to turn to, but I got the chair, jumped up, turned the channel, and here comes the prison guard.
Yeah, and you got
in trouble.
Then what? You get a demerit, or you get in the military? You get an Article 15 for a minor infraction or a courts martial.
Right, it's called a shot, and I lost my living quarters. I had a 2-man room. I got moved to what's called the bus stop, with about 20 beds and lights like this all on all night long. So that was my punishment. I had to sit up there for about a month.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Now, and I heard you say you got punished for writing a book?
Yes.
Okay. Were you writing a book about the prisons?
Not at all.
No. What were you writing a love story, or what were you writing? You're known for thug loving and stuff like that, right?
Street literature.
You're known. You have a genre that you're known for, and we want to get to that because I've been just learning from you about the prison. But yeah, go ahead.
No
you wrote in the thing. You published a book from the prison.
Got published in
prison.
And
they took you on the carpet for that.
Yeah,
why would they take you on the carpet for publishing a book?
My first book, Thugs and the Women Who Loved Them.
What was it called again?
It's called Thugs and the Women Who Loved Them.
Thugs and the Women Who Loved Them. That's an interesting
That was my very first book.
Yeah. Okay.
And
you wrote it inside?
I wrote it inside.
On a computer or on longhand?
I handwritten it on yellow paper. That's how I wrote it. And the copy machines were always broke. So I had to go to the counselor, the guards, whoever I can get to please make a copy of my handwritten pages so I can send them home so they could type. There's no way you're not supposed to send your only copy home.
No, you don't want to lose your original copy. No, ever. Huh?
When I would get the guards and the staff to do that, they would say, okay, when this book gets published, you make sure you put my name in the acknowledgments. So
make sure you do put my name.
Yes.
Okay.
So I did that.
I
said, okay, I would. I kept my word. When I wrote my acknowledgments, I said, thank you, so-and-so, CO so-and-so, blah, 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 blah. And one day...
Officer Bob? Yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
One day, 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm in my room, door shut, and I hear a knock, and the officer opens the door. He said, Miss Clark, get dressed. They want you to come over to the lieutenant's office. I'm like, holy mackerel, the lieutenant's office. So I go over there. And they asked me to have what is this? And that's how it all started. They see the CO's name. They said, did you give these officers anything for doing this? I said, no. He said, why did they do it? I said, because the copy machine, the copy machine over at the camp is always broken. So they let me go.
And they had asked you to put their name in there as assistant.
Exactly.
So did that cut any ice or anything, or what was there beef?
But listen to this.
Were you giving an expose of the terribleness of it?
Not at all.
You were not.
It was Thugs and the Women Who Loved Them.
And it had to do with the world, not the prison.
Right. Trenton, New
so
Jersey.
They didn't
That's
have
what
you
that
on
book was based on.
If you'd written a book,
streets.
Suppose you'd written a book like Solzhenitsyn or something that had condemned the prison system and it got published out there.
Oh my gosh.
That could help you to get public support for your case if you get to be well enough known. Is that a dream of a lot of people that can't be realized, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can you protest the prison from inside
they probably
without
put me on
being
the firing
punished?
Squad. They probably put me on the firing squad.
Really, they're that
they probably put me on the firing squad.
They're that nasty or that insecure in their system.
Listen to the irony.
Yeah.
A young lady, when I was in Lexington, Kentucky, she came in on the streets. Her profession was a literary agent.
Okay, right.
So she had asked the camp administrator, could she give a course on creative writing and how to get published. So the camp administrator said, sure, she approved it. So they posted up, these classes are being going to be given such and such a date and time.
Yeah.
And at the end, you graduate, you get a certificate.
Yeah.
So of course, I signed up for that.
Yeah, sure.
And that gave me the guidance on getting started in writing and getting started on publishing.
And you
so
put
when
that,
they called me
yeah.
to the lieutenant's office,
Yeah.
he said, "How did you do this?"
Yeah, how can you do it?
How did you do this?
Yeah.
I said, "Well, you guys approved the course."
Yeah,
I
right.
took the course under your watch.
Well, I
You
would have
guys
thought
approved
that would stand the test of an
Right.
interrogation.
Right. I took the course. I have a certificate in this. This
so
is how I did
you didn't have to
this.
do any time in the hold for having written a book or something out of that thing where you were called to the lieutenant?
Okay. The first day, they sent me back.
Were they big enough to admit their mistake?
Listen.
Do they ever admit their mistakes?
I'm not done. I'm not done.
Good.
They sent me back to my room. I was good for that day. The next morning again, 7 o'clock.
Knock on the door. God, it sounds like a rattling pole.
They want you over to lieutenant's office. So, you're like, okay. They went back to the officers' names in the acknowledgments. And he said, okay, you know what? We're going to have to investigate this. We're going to have to put you in the hole and investigate this.
No.
So that's when they handcuffed my butt and took me to the hole.
What's the hole?
The county,
it sounds awful. The whole
back to the county jail.
Oh my God!
So I sat there for 8 months while they did their investigation.
Because of that book.
And
that book should be
I
a
got
big.
kicked out of Lexington Federal Prison Camp, and that's when they sent me to Alderson. They said I can't come back to Lexington, Kentucky anymore.
How can you sit and talk rationally about it without screaming and having steam come out your ears?
Like I said, I wouldn't change a day. It was a blessing in disguise.
You learned,
It was
right?
a blessing in disguise.
Blessing.
Because every time
How
I
was
had
that a
to write,
blessing? Yeah.
look, while I was in that 8 months in the hole, I wrote another book, Payback Is A Mutha. So, and in the county jail, all types of people come through.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just sitting
like
and listening to all these revolving doors and a movie, exactly. And the stories you hear, I'm like, oh my gosh, that gave me one of my grittiest books ever, meeting the people that came through that county jail.
That
so
first
like I
book
said, I
was,
wouldn't even change it.
The first book was Thugs and the Ladies Who Love Them?
Thugs and the Women Who Love Them.
The Women Who Love Them. And
once I started writing that book, I was such on a roll that it was so big. When I turned it into the publisher, he said, Wahida, we're going to have to make this into 2 books. So I ended up with Thugs and the Women Who Love Them, and the part 2, Every Thug Needs a Lady.
Okay, now were those published simultaneously? That's your first book?
They put out the part 1.
That's the one you got all the trouble for.
And a year or so later, they put out the part 2.
Okay, and the first one is the one you got all the trouble and had to go in the hole.
Yes,
What a term.
What a term.
It's like bly. Okay, they did. So, and you had gotten that, you had gotten it out, and then who had done that publishing for you?
Okay.
Because you're a publisher yourself now.
Right, I wasn't a publisher then. When I was incarcerated, I, do a lot of reading, and one night, I had, since I worked in the law library, I worked in there during the day, and I also taught computer classes. So my routine, my schedule was, I would be up half the night. So during the night, I would do a lot of reading. So I was reading this one book called Married Men by Carl Weber, and at the end of the book, I closed the book and it was just so good. I was just motivated to write him and tell him, look, I enjoy your writing. And a lot of acknowledgments. I have a habit of reading all of the acknowledgments. And I would see his name a lot. People always was thanking this guy.
What's his name again?
Carl Weber.
Carl Weber.
Yes, he wrote the book.
C-A-R-L.
C-A-R-L-W-E-B-E-R.
Okay.
One of my favorite authors.
Okay, good. Thank you. That's good.
So I wrote him, and I said, I just finished your book. It is awesome. I just love all your stuff, blah, 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 blah. I just finished my book, and I'm investigating some online publishing companies, or some print-on-demand publishing companies. What do you suggest? And I said, I don't even have a title. What do you suggest? I wrote it, wasn't expecting to hear back from him.
Did you send an email?
I sent it, no. I
wrote
put a stamp on it.
The
address was in the book, put a stamp on it, and sent it.
A bottle in the ocean.
That's right. Forgot all about it. Next thing you know, I get a letter stating, you've written a book, send me your manuscript.
From Carl.
Wow.
Wow.
So I sent my manuscript.
And that's the manuscript for the second one?
The first, and part 1 and part 2. He's the one that said, Wahida, this is too big. We're going to have to make
but I
this
thought you were in jail when you wrote that.
I was.
Okay.
I was in Lexington, Kentucky. I was locked up.
Okay, right.
I was locked up.
And
while I was
so
locked
that letter
up,
you're sending
I
to
wrote
him
while I
from
was
the prison.
locked up.
Right,
That's right. From the prison,
gotcha.
sent it, forgot all about it.
Right.
And he wrote back and said, send me your manuscript.
Right.
And I had my family, they had typed it up, said, I got this letter, guys, send this to Mr. Weber. And when he got the manuscript, he offered me a contract. So that's how I got.
You still in touch with Mr. Weber?
Last time I seen it was New York. The NAACP had an authors pavilion, had a big NAACP event.
Yeah.
So he was there signing books. I was there signing books.
So,
and actually, that was my first time meeting him face to face.
I bet that was one big hug.
That was the first time. I said, Carl, this is my first time. He said, really? I said, yes, this is my first time I ever met you face to face.
Okay, and he had done that for you.
So
and done that.
That was my first publishing.
Yeah, go ahead.
He published a book, but before I really got out there in bestseller, he had left the company.
Yeah.
Him and the business
the company
partner.
that he was.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Were they a small group or something?
Small publishing company.
So we're talking about self-publishing.
No, it was a small publishing company.
Yeah, right.
It was a very small publishing company. So after that one, then my next books, I ended up getting a major publishing deal when I was in prison.
Okay.
With a major publishing
That's
house.
really interesting, and the whole thing about how you can get publishing is something. There's a lot of people in this age of the internet and everything. Okay, let's just start. It's hard to know where. You had a second book. What happened with the second book you sent to Carl?
Okay.
Did it get published by him?
It was a whole by the same company. But before he had already left the company, so the people who he partnered with, they put out the part 2.
Okay. And did I hear you say that the first book, Thugs and the Women Who Love Them, became a bestseller?
Absolutely.
Bestseller. What does it mean for a book to be a bestseller? Is it a matter of numbers or what? Or how do you
matter
determine?
Of numbers. I was on the Essence magazine bestsellers list, and I've been blessed. My books are like classics. It's a series, and they just keep selling
and it's a genre.
Selling and selling.
Okay,
yes.
And it's a genre, right?
I came in at a good time as the genre was just taking off.
The genre.
So I got in on like the bottom floor.
Are you when you get in on the bottom floor? Are you talking about something called like Thug Love or something like that, or what? What's the
street fiction?
Street fiction, right?
These books were just starting.
They're gritty and they're real, right?
Right. Gain all this acclaim. And sell. It made the big publishing houses say, okay. It made them take notice.
Right.
And all the big publishing houses, they have separate imprints for this genre, street literature.
Okay, street literature. I had a friend wrote a book about, Streets of Harlem, a guy...
Streets of Harlem, I've heard of that.
Yeah, he wrote it was all in the vernacular. It was great. He just did it in the vernacular, and it was about hip-hop, in the beginning of hip-hop up in Harlem and that and everything. Lester. But it's the business of getting published. Publishing's a big business.
Yes, it is.
And you have an agent, or how does it go?
I have an agent.
You have an agent now. Did you
I
get
got an agent while I
after?
Was in prison.
While you were in prison. That's great. Hey, line up for the agent's call. You know, that kind of thing. That's a great image. I keep seeing things in movie terms like Blazing Saddles, you know. But
Back
anyway,
to the Blazing Saddles.
Right. But anyway, so, and then the second book got published, and did it do well also?
Sure did.
By the same company.
I still love that.
So you were on your way, really.
Yeah.
And the writing comes easy to you? How do you write? How do you come about it? You have a yellow pad, legal pad, the big one?
Yeah, and I still write like that to the
And do you just write it, and does it just flow easy? Do you have to edit? Do you have to erase? Or does it just come to stream of consciousness? How does it come?
Sometimes it's different. Sometimes it'll just flow, and I just keep writing. Sometimes I have to stop. Even though now that I'm home, actually, this is the first book that I've written since I've been home, Thug Lovin'.
Thug Lovin'. This is
book number 7. I have 7 books.
You've got 7 books out. Okay,
this is the first one that I've written since I've been home.
We can let them see it, if you don't mind.
Not at all.
You don't mind if we show them the cover of the book and
this
tell
was
them how
my first
they can
book
get it?
that Payback.
You don't mind if we plug the book?
Not at all.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure that we're not treading on territory here that's going to end up in the hole or something, you know. Anyway, let me hold it up. I'm not sure this is where's Robotic? They'll be able to come in on that. Okay, New York Times best-selling author. New York Times best-selling author. So you were on the New York Times best-selling list, paperback?
Absolutely. And I'm
was
trying
it
to think,
paperback?
which one was the first one? The one that I read, what was in the hole? Is that the one that hit the New York Times bestsellers list? Payback Is A Mutha. That's the one I've written in the hole. Remember I told you about that one?
Yeah.
That's the first, my first book that hit the New York Times bestsellers list.
Is that part of the whole thing that you had coming out of it when you were in the prison?
Yeah, I wrote that in prison too.
Thugs and the Women Who Loved Them was one, and then the other one?
Every Thug Needs a Lady was part 2. Thug Matrimony, part 3. And then I wrote Payback Is A Mutha. Then I wrote Payback With Your Life. Then I wrote Sleeping With the Enemy. And then I wrote Thug Lovin'. That's the first one I've written since
Okay, and you write in the same way for all of them? Does it come, let me ask you something. Is it come easy? Does it come easy for you, coming out of your experience? Does the writing experience come easy? Do you have to wrestle with it? Do you have a block ever? That sort of thing.
In prison,
yeah,
it came easy.
Okay, it did.
Thug Lovin' is the first book I've written since I've been home. It came
You mean
hard.
out of prison?
Yes.
Well, when did you get out of prison?
December of '07.
That's only just yesterday almost.
Yes.
Boy, you've got a heck of an experience.
December of '07. That's the first one I've written since I've been home, and that was the hardest because at home there's so many distractions. In prison, you have your routine. Wahida, you get up in the morning. I get up at 4:45. I start my day. Everything is the same monotony. 7 days a week. I kept that regimen. So in prison writing was easy. When I came home, you have family,
television.
you have husband, you have TV, you have internet,
that damned
you have
gets
telephone,
in the way, doesn't he?
you have business, you have job,
Tell me
you
about
have
it.
cooking.
I know. And you didn't have any of that at the prison.
Oh my God!
You don't recommend prison
that
for writing.
That was hard.
But that would be what we should do with our writers.
And
is
you know
put
what?
them in a prison.
A blogger had teased me. One blogger had did a review on one of my books, and he said, "Wow, why are you going to go back to prison to write some more books?"
Yes, right.
I said, "You don't know how tempting that is."
Yeah,
because it just came in prison. It came
very
easy.
many writers. I got a friend who turns it off. He said, his phone. He said, "I'm either that or I'm writing," and he just turns everything off.
That's
a hard discipline when you got
very hard.
You don't have little kids, grandchildren yet.
I have a grandson. I do have a grandson, but he doesn't live with me. So.
No, but if he comes over, you're going to have a hard time sticking to the writing up in the garage.
And I like writing early in the morning, and my husband suggested, he said, "Well, you're just going to have to go in your room, shut the door, don't come out, and get it done." That's how I got it done.
Is this one different than the ones you did when you had the discipline, or what do you think? Is it coming different?
It did come different. It did. This was totally different.
Did you access, because it's all coming out of your head, right? It's all your memory and everything.
Yes.
So you're accessing, and the way an author accesses something is important, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And under certain circumstances, you'll access, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you could address it as a writer.
Absolutely. In prison, I would put on my headphones, turn on the radio, and I would be gone.
What does that mean, turn on the radio?
Turn on my radio, have the headphones on, turn on the radio, and listen to music.
Oh, music.
Music.
What kind of music?
And that what I write. R&B, hip-hop, some jazz, whatever would hit me during that time. That's how I would write.
Not Mozart.
Or even the radio, not Mozart.
Not Mozart.
Not Mozart. No, not Mozart.
Something hip. Is the mindset relative to what the themes of you're writing about?
Absolutely.
So you want to write about the street,
and
you call it street writing or something.
There you go.
So you're trying to talk about the gritty reality.
Absolutely.
That you have some sense of in the people you're running into. That's good. So the music helps feed that muse, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And now that you're all comfortable at home and everything, is it hard?
It was very hard.
It's very hard.
Very hard.
That's very interesting, isn't it?
Very hard.
Yeah.
This was, like I said, that was the hardest one I had to do. It was a huge
You're
challenge.
young enough to remember whiteout?
I still use whiteout at the office.
You do?
Yes.
Whiteout was a thing. For those youngsters in the audience, they used to have a thing that when you're typing something, you made a mistake, you would get a little piece of paper and you stick it in there.
That type of whiteout, the little tape.
No, I'm talking about the whiteout where you had to white out, or if you got a couple.
I still have that. I have that. I still
I think
use
you
it in
could
my
find
office.
it someplace.
Please don't say they use something different.
Well, I don't think they use. Everybody uses computers these days, and you can just automatically be. But I've had a thing where you had important paper or something. You write a letter. One little letter's wrong. You have to type the whole damn page over again and everything.
Computers are a blessing.
The physics. When you're writing, you write longhand?
I still do, like I'm in prison. I wrote that book out on longhand, just like.
And you don't have to. Do you have to edit?
Now.
Do you have to edit? Do you go through a second edition?
Yes, I do.
You got that one before that finish thing where you had to get out
Absolutely.
on the. You edit 1, 2, 3 times. How do you do it?
Thug Lovin', I think I went over about 4 times.
It's hard to edit because are you changing the original page that you wrote it on?
I sure do.
So you do scribbles and you cross things out?
I sure do.
Wouldn't it be good to have a copy of the original like you can on a computer? You just go save, you got it, and then you go to another thing.
I have several versions. I have the handwritten copy. I write on that, mark that up, and then I'll type it up on the computer. Then I print that out,
now.
and I work. That's
but you
now.
didn't have did you have the computer in the prison?
No, no.
So when that thing you sent out had been revised,
right?
You didn't have the original.
I sent it home.
The original.
No, I kept the original. I had a copy.
No, wait a minute. You didn't have the. Did you saved the original? So you made another copy that you changed?
Okay.
When
remember,
you're doing the editing,
I wrote
because
it out.
remember Juanita. When you get to be, it was Juanita.
Wahida.
Wahida. I knew it was Juanita, but Wahida. But when you get to be where when you get to be the star you're destined obviously to become and all that sort of thing, that first edition that you wrote in prison, nice if you could have it with a little stream of light coming down and a stubbing of a pencil and so forth. That's going to fetch a big price at Sotheby's, more than some.
I still have it.
You understand what I'm saying?
I still have it.
You do. Save
I still
that.
have
Put
my
it in
yellow
a vault,
version
right?
page. I still have that.
It's just a little piece of advice
You're absolutely
from me.
correct. I
Okay,
still have
right.
it.
Okay, but the writing then, and you're writing on gritty, real terms and everything, and it's all strictly fiction. Stream of consciousness, or how?
Well,
what's your style?
We call it reality fiction.
Okay.
Because I took there's 4 female characters that I base my Thug series around, and I took a little bit of me and put it in each one of the characters. So some of the things that I went through, it's in the book.
Yeah, I think there's no way
some
to avoid that.
Some of the scenes they're in the book.
Yeah. There was a writer, I don't know if you knew, a woman writer we did a program years ago. Her name was Alexandria Fuller. She was from Zimbabwe. She wrote a book called Scribbling the Cat. It was really good. I couldn't put it down. Really great writing. And I was talking to her, and I said, writers, do you know writers are the most intelligent group in our society? They've put it out between bankers and scientists and all that. The most intelligent people in the society are the writers.
Wow.
The high Q. Anyway, she said that she thought all writing should be cinematographic, and which leads me towards screenplay, leads me toward thoughts of option. Have you talked to Mr. Spielberg or DreamWorks or people in the multimedia film world? Because every film needs a property, and you have a genre. And so, what do you think, first of all, about Alexandria Fuller suggesting that all writing should be cinematographic? Certainly lays things up for a linear text kind of means of communication to a multimedia world that's obviously before us.
I agree, because, and that's what I aim for when I'm writing, because a lot of my fan mail, Wahida, when I read your books, I can just see the picture.
Yeah.
When are you going to put this into a movie? This needs to be a movie.
Yeah.
So that's my goal.
Yeah.
As I write, I have to be able to see what's going on.
You might want to be in touch. She's really good. She was Zimbabwe.
Fuller.
Yeah, Alexandria
Fuller.
I can send you a link.
Okay.
And she wrote a book called Scribbling the Cat.
Okay.
It was a bestseller, I think, but it was about Zimbabwe. But
Okay.
anyway, so what about that? We only got about 10 minutes, 15 minutes left. About the no, we've only got about 10 minutes left, so we better get it in. The film and the idea of doing multimedia, or is there some suggestion being made from one of your sources? Which is fine. Get it in. We got about 10 minutes left.
I didn't hear what she said. But
Okay. Title of the publishing company, she's suggesting. Yeah.
the title of my publishing company is Wahida Clark Presents Publishing.
Okay.
And I just hired someone for my film department. So we're creating that
You operate
now.
out of Trenton or what?
East Orange, New Jersey.
East
That's where my
Orange.
office is.
How far out from New York is that?
15, no, about 20 minutes.
Oh, well, you're in New York.
Yeah, I'm close.
Yeah.
Close.
Okay, so you've got that.
I'm close.
But what about this idea about taking your work and relating it to multimedia? Has anything been done, either video or film, or
Not
do you
yet. It's
think
in the
about
working.
it?
The first step is you have to put it, like you said, the screenplay. That's the first, or script.
Have you
That's
ever
the
tried
first
that?
thing. Not yet. I haven't tried
You could take
that.
one of your books and you could just sort of do it,
Yeah.
And what you got to do
If
is
I
have the
don't
idea
do my
of
own, I'm going to get someone else to do it for me.
You use Blazing Saddle as a template. You get some help from your husband.
Oh, my
And you got
gosh.
the sunset. At the end of the movie where they go into the sunset, that's cinematographic, and that's thinking, you know what I'm saying?
Gosh.
You understand what I'm saying,
I understand
right?
exactly what you're saying. What about in the part where the lady brought the apple pie?
Oh yeah, that was great. When
don't tell
anybody I brought. Yeah. No, it's brilliant.
That's
it's brilliant. It's so
that.
funny. Mel Brooks, thank God for Mel Brooks and George Carlin. And when Zero Mostel died, I wept. I mean, but anyway,
that is a goal to get my books onto the big screen.
Okay, and you're thinking, have you experimented with it? Is it different?
Not yet.
See, what they always say, we need a property. Now you've got a book. You've sold a lot of books, right?
Yes.
And they're popular, and they go off the shelves, right?
Yes, they do.
They sell across the country in all levels of bookstore. Are they mostly up in Harlem?
I'm all over. All over the country.
In Ames, Iowa, they're selling, and universities using for courses and things like that?
Actually, a couple of colleges are using my books as courses.
That's good. That's good, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So would you say it's a distinctive style, like you can make a distinction between, let's say, Hemingway and Faulkner? Or James Joyce? Or,
this is the 21st century, so...
No, I know, but is it a distinctive style of writing? Like you know a difference between a Hemingway novel and a Faulkner novel.
Right,
you know?
right.
So like with you, is it different, and what makes it different?
My style, the Wahida Clark style?
Yeah. Call it the Clark style, yeah.
I do have my own style. I'm sure every writer says the same thing. They have their own style. I don't have no name for my style, but
no, but maybe we should give it a name right here tonight.
Maybe I should, huh? What do you suggest?
Grit.
It is gritty.
It is gritty.
Reality.
Real. Gritty reality. Yeah.
Embracing.
Embracing.
Yeah.
Embracing. Okay. Well, I was just asking it as a thought because you have like you identify a Hemingway piece, right? The short story. There's a difference between some. You know what I'm saying? He writes, or Faulkner.
Well, everyone has their. Okay, let me see how I can put this. I can't.
Okay.
It's just unique. Just like my name, unique.
Unique. Does that rhyme?
That's
with
what
you're
Wahida
going to change your
means,
first
unique.
name to some other name that rhymes with unique. Unique oblique. Oblique. There's oblique.
Obliques? No, not oblique.
Without a squeak. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop doing all that. Anyway, it's more the question. It's more the question of the film. You know, are you thinking? Have you gotten in touch with anybody off the fact that your books are selling well? That's a good beginning. Or would you have ambition in that direction toward trying to do it?
Like I said, with my publishing company, we just hired somebody to run the film department.
How many are in the company?
We actually have 3 companies.
3 companies.
Wahida Clark Presents Publishing has 1, 2, 3 employees. Green and Company Printing and Publishing has 3 employees. And WahidaClark.org has 3 employees. So.
You got 9, 10 people there. Okay.
Exactly.
And you're publishing your work. You're also publishing others.
Well, no, I have a major publishing deal, so I'm still with a major publishing house, but I publish others under Wahida Clark Presents Publishing.
How many others have you published? How many other books of others have you published?
So far, 6.
6 books.
Yes.
Okay, you're up and running.
6 and counting.
Yeah, you're up and running.
I have one coming out next month, The Ultimate Sacrifice by Anthony Fields. Just last Friday, Uncle Yaya by Al Dickens.
That's the one you gave the Ambassador of Libya. Okay.
Absolutely.
Right.
Then I have The Madam coming out a couple of weeks after The Ultimate Sacrifice. So it's 6 and counting.
And are these books in the style that you have for yourself?
All of them,
or are they all
except for
styles?
Uncle Yaya. Uncle Yaya is a different style. More like Aesopian type. Spiritual motivation. I'm going to make sure you get a copy of that because you're going to want
if you would send that on.
Uncle Yaya's representative to come on your show. You're going to enjoy talking to him.
Well, perhaps so, yeah.
You're going to enjoy that.
Well, I enjoyed talking to you. I enjoyed talking with you because we have a couple minutes left, thank goodness, and everything, because we could go on and on. And movies. Do you like movies yourself? Outside, your husband loves Blazing Saddles, as do I. You like it's a different experience, right? Yeah. Multimedia.
I love movies.
Do you think the world's moving toward multimedia?
Animation.
Animation is coming. Well, that's part of the multi-sense.
That's where it's going.
It's part of the multi-sensorial. They're going to have three-dimensional. We're going to have holography. We're going to end up with holography, and it's just going. And it's coming.
Where it's going.
It's coming exponential out of the computer labs. They're getting to carbon 60. They're going to be going to where we're going to be just swimming in bandwidth and everything like that.
Absolutely.
And so that's part of the thing that's emerging there. You don't do science. It's themes oriented to people other than your own work. Themes, geopolitics, or drug trafficking, or what? Is there? Do you have themes?
I have a mixture.
Or
I
is
have
it
a mixture.
Oh, it
Remember,
would be.
it's all intertwined.
Right, and then you get in touch. You solicit publisher, authors for your thing, or do you
I don't
find
have
them
to.
on your own?
Once they read a book, and if they have written one, we get manuscripts every day.
Is there a lot of
bins
talent?
of manuscripts?
All right. Is there a lot of talent more than can be published? Is there a lot of good talent out there?
Yes.
It's very encouraging that there is.
Yes, there is a lot of good talent out there, and even more behind prison bars.
That's the thing. Maybe they could just give maybe. Do you have outreach to the prison some way? Can you have outreach?
Yes.
You can. How? Through mail?
Well, the prisoners, they write me, they send in manuscripts, but I also I'm the vice president of a nonprofit organization, Prodigal Sons and Daughters, which is a prison reentry program.
Wonderful.
So I go to halfway houses in prisons and talk to them, motivate them, and so
that's really great you're doing that. I think that's really great. That's if they're not going to provide that in their thing, they wouldn't see that as you're doing something good for the people inside. And they wouldn't see the doing something good and productive and good for the people as something that's destructive of some sadistic punishment that they want to deliver down. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand
you don't get
exactly
punished
what you're
for
saying.
Encouraging people to be good or
no,
to express themselves in a creative way?
Not that I'm out and I'm able to go back. It's fine, but inside you have to just wait. Even when I left Alderson, they released me and I went to the halfway house. I had to go to the halfway house. And while I was at the halfway house, my publisher, Kensington, it was time for the Harlem Book Fair, and they wanted me to come and sign the books, but the halfway house, they wouldn't let me go. They said, nope, sorry, Miss Clark, you can't go do a book signing.
We really ought to.
You have to wait.
Yeah, but what you're doing could be an encouraging light, a lodestar for the people who are inside, and you could have a connection. They don't limit your connect. You can't. They don't have. You can't connect with them on the internet. Or why the hell can't they get on the internet? I can't understand that. Why they don't let them?
Understand that?
I don't know.
There's a lot of things they don't. It's just not going to happen.
It's because they want to punish. Now, the law has that part of it. They're going to punish. But on the other side, there's also the thing, I mean, you could take that lesson for life. Is that what we want to do in life? We're going to punish? A lot of the institutions are just authoritarian, punishing people in order to get them to conform to something.
That's right.
I mean, it's a larger, the metaphor of the prison in your life, in your writing, is a metaphor for the larger world.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And there's lessons to be learned. And if we're going to learn some really good lessons from that, which you've only scratched the surface. And one of the things that I want to say, Wahida, I'll get to that. But at the end of Casablanca, do you watch movies? At the end of Casablanca, do you remember the scene?
I didn't see Casablanca.
You have not seen Casablanca?
Casablanca, no.
I'm going to send you a DVD.
I have not seen
It's a classic.
I know it's a classic.
At the end,
I've never watched it.
Okay, well, I can't do it then. But I said Humphrey Bogart, who was the star, and Claude Rains, who turned out to be against the fascists and everything. At the end, and Ingrid Bergman, gorgeous and everything, she went off to fight the fascists with her husband, and they walked in, and he says, Louis, this looks like the beginning of a beautiful friendship. And they shook hands. Wahida, this looks like the beginning of a beautiful friendship. We've got to be in touch.
Thank you, Mr.
And that
Chairman. Also
will help ease you over into cinematographically thinking about how these things could be put to the movies. Congratulations on persevering, not letting it get you down, and all the work. Your pleasure to have her perceptions. We'll be coming back again tomorrow. Wahida, it's so good to see you. We got to start meeting more like this.
Fantastic.
Okay, thank you very much for viewing. And we'll be coming back again tomorrow. Okay. So they're going to put some graphics and thug loving and all these. Congratulations on that.
Thank
and it's really an inspirational story that you represent. I guess you realize that.
Yeah, they tell me that all the time.
Yeah. Well,
even though to me, I'm just like,
don't get up because they're still running graphics. You got to get a sense of the media, darling.
I know.
Yeah. Are you on the media a lot? Why aren't you on?
No, I'm not.
Well, why aren't you on?